I wanted to share my next project, which is cataloging my PC video game collection, which I started almost 40 years ago this year. One of the interesting things is how the boxing has changed over the years. Prices actually pretty stabilized since I've been buying games. But today, if you buy a game, you just have to download it on game. You don't get all the nice, cool stuff like you did in the old days. These games are fantasy games. Most of my collection is around space and strategy games. And some of these, I'm going to keep them because some of these at some point in time may be worth some money, because they have everything with them, instructions and the disc. And any of you people that are interested in these, you can appreciate it. And those that do not play video games, well, you could care less, because this is not a collection of owls and polar bears and stuffed teddy bears and beanie bears. But in the future, it's going to be worth a lot of money with some of them. Half-Life was, the big game when it came out. And back here, you'll see, and this is what I had in the early 70s. These are actually board games. You can't play them on computers. They're played with little tokens and a strategy board. And after that, they started kind of hybrid. You had boards and computers, and eventually you had three-dimensional graphics that you see today. These were real famous, and they're still going strong, are the Battlefield collections. A lot of kids buy them. And the fantasy game, this was the first big multiplayer game that people enjoyed, called Warcraft. Had to pay $15 a month to play it, and at one time they had 12 to 15 million players worldwide. So, just do the math and see how much money they were making each month. This is another very popular game. Had a real cult following, and they're trying to bring it back. Of course, Fallout, that's more of you play by yourself, but lots of money. And this is the Witcher games. Excellent games. Programmers and the people that wrote the script, it's just, they put as much money into these games now as in movies. And by the way, you're looking at an industry that makes a lot more money than the movie industry does today. And what you're looking at here is the first space video game ever produced. Talking 1982, Starflight, and it was something in its day. And there's the people that developed it. They were so proud of it, they put their pictures and spacesuits in the game. You had things like this, maps and controllers to play the game, which is pretty cool. This here is a little bit earlier, and this was a two-dimensional game that you actually had to draw your own dungeon maps to play it. That's the grandfather of all the stuff you see today. And here was the next generation, Wing Commander for spaceflight. It was, of course, three-dimensional, had video characterized in it, and it was the thing. It also was the grandfather of its genre. And Diablo, a lot of kids are, the end of the Dungeons and Dragons. That was the big daddy in its day. All these are approaching 40 years old. And that is the end of my collection. and I hope you enjoyed this.